The first thing that I want your participation. I want we are a team here, right? So we work together. So thank you for suggesting that. So the first thing is I want you to remember that a binomial squared is always a trinomial. And you can say, what are you talking about? Well, a binomial is a sum of two terms or a difference of two terms. Two terms. So can you pin the speaker? Can you all see this, everyone?
Yes.
So always speak up. I see a chat. Okay, was it for me? Is this meeting? No, this is not the meeting for 191. No, the meeting for 191 starts at 8:30. So if somebody's still here with me, that's fine. I'm finally answering. Do you have extra credit for going to the tutoring center? That was a good one. After all the extra credit, no. That was cute. Okay, so a plus b, a minus b, these are two terms. What happens if we talk about a times b? These are not two terms. These are two factors. So the difference between terms and factors. Factors are only connected by multiplication, and terms are connected by addition or subtraction. Of course, I can have more than two, but a binomial has only two terms. A trinomial has three terms. So every time we square a binomial, we get three terms. If I square a product, if I square AB, for example, I just get a squared times b squared. I square each individual factor. But when I square a plus b, the formula is, I have first of all, remember, it's not a squared plus b squared. A trinomial. It's a squared plus twice the product of these two and plus b squared. And the only difference here, if you don't see the color that I'm using, tell me and I'll put it aside and I'll not use it again. So if this is minus, then this is minus. Very important formula to remember. Now, the other one, the last one, so these are both together, basically. The last one is the a plus b and a minus b. So this is a product of two binomials. And notice that they are the same, except one has positive and one has negative. And they can be in any order. So then the answer for this is much easier than that. Is the difference of squares. Of squares. And since you love that whiteboard so much, here it is. Let's see what you come up with. Let's see the whiteboard in action. I'm unplugging my computer because it's full. So click on the pen and write. Okay, Jackie is writing 2, negative 2xy. Okay, I see that. Okay, Donna is writing 4x. I know this is fun. I see you going from left to right, but I don't see too much writing though. So I don't see what's happening here. I don't think that this is working. You have to click on the pen. I'm sorry. On the pen and just write. I know it's hard with a mouse. Okay, I'm gonna stop it. Let me, okay. If you're still working on it, let me know. Yes, that's okay. But remember the square here. This is the correct answer. That's why we're studying the formula, because we don't want to waste our time to FOIL, right? We want to study the formula. The formula says the first term squared minus the second term squared. There is no need to write these. They cancel out. Okay, that was interesting. Good. So this is what the formula is saying to us. The first term squared, when I square 2x, here's how I square 2x. I have to square 2, and I have to square x. So I have 4x squared. I have to copy the negative sign, because that's what the formula is all about. And then I have to square the second term. That's all I wanted to see. Okay, so let's work on one other, but that will be a trinomial. So let's say 4x minus 3y and squared. And the first question is, how many terms will you give me? I don't hear anything. You are muted.
3.
Yes, I want you to give me 3 terms. So please give me the first term.
16x squared.
Yes, because we have to square the first term. When we square the first term, we get 16x squared. Because the binomial has minus between the first and the second terms, I have to copy negative. And now be careful how you create the middle term. 2 times the first times the second. Calculate and give me the answer. I want to use the formula. I don't want to waste my time. I'm in calculus now. I'm not in algebra. I would have done that in algebra, but I'm ready now. I know the formula.
Say 24xy.
Yes, because 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24xy. Excellent. And remember, the last term is always positive. No matter what we have here, the last term is always positive. Can anyone give us the last term?
Plus 9y squared.
That's it. Plus 9y squared. So that's how these two formulas work. I don't consider these two. I consider this one, and I consider this one another. Okay. Is there any other requested topic that we should work on, or can we start with R.1? Do we have anything else? Great. So I just want to go to the book. I'm opening it in the background. It was opened, but I moved to something else. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. I will choose the chapter R. I will choose R.1. I will choose the multimedia textbook. That's all I need. And I'm going to click on it. I also have my book here. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So, you know, because it's easier for me to go to the page number and then select the page over there instead of just clicking on the page. Okay. So R.1 at the end. It's on page 10. Okay. Page 10. And enter. This is just a review of algebra, so I'm more than willing to work on any problem you want. So the first set of problems, there is no need to talk about quadratics at this point that much, but why not? Anything you want to choose from 1 through 22. Here's what we're trying to do. So as you notice, these are linear equations. Why linear? Because x and y, they all have power 1, and they are not in the denominator. The rest of 13 through 22 are something else. Quadratic, even cubic. Okay, degree 3. So let's choose a linear, first of all, and refresh our memory on how we graph linear equations or linear functions. And then we move on to quadratics. Why not? Okay, I have a chat.
Here's just the answer.
Oh, okay. Good. Anyone would like to pick? I will pick 9 if you don't pick. You can always pick if you want. And this is on page 10. And we have 6x plus 3y equals negative 9. One other piece of information, I do keep an eye on the clock just because of the token of respect to you. You may need to do other things after 8:15. But if you see that I'm still going strong and we are getting close to 8:15, it's not rude if you say we are close to 8:15 or something else. I'm fine. Please. I don't want to disrespect you and move on. I mean, continue when I shouldn't. Okay. So this is the linear equation. Why do I know it's linear? Because both variables have power 1, and there is nothing in the denominator. But I know that this is not power 1. This is y to negative 1. So please remember, this is a very important formula for exponential or exponential rule if you want. Y to negative 1 is 1 over y. Okay, and this will not be linear, not linear. So in this case, we're asked to graph it. So a quick refresher on how to graph linear equations. So we have to remember the equations of the y-axis and the equation of the x-axis. Anyone remembers what is the equation of the y-axis?
Y equals 0.
Careful. Altitude. Always remember, where am I? Am I at the sea level or am I at the mountain level? So this is the y, altitude. So this will be the y equals 0. Yes, this is position. Position. What do I mean by position? Position. Altitude. Altitude 0 or below, altitude above. So that's why this is easy to remember. Now, when I want to determine or want to graph, I always graph using the x and y intercepts. Graph using x and y intercepts. Always look for the x and y intercepts. They may exist or may not exist in different situations, but we always look for the x and y intercepts. You can say, but we were taught to graph this using the slope. Yes, but it will never happen again, meaning no other function can be graphed using the slope. So move away from that method. It's useless. It's good when I read from the graph and other things, but otherwise it's useless. We always look for the x and y intercepts if they exist. So don't waste your time to solve for y. It's a waste of time, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make x equals 0, trying to find the y intercept. 3y equals -9. Can anyone tell us how much is y when x is 0?
-3.
Very good. So I found the point. 0, -3. And now I want to find the y-intercept, the x-intercept, so I'll make y equals 0. So y equals 0, how much is x? So I have 6x equals -9, and I have to divide by 6. -9 over 6. Of course, I will divide by 3, simplify by 3. So this is x equals -1.5. So I found -1.5 comma 0. Be careful how you create the point. Notice that I did not wait to find the other one to create the point. Create the point at the moment you find it. Because I've seen it done. Students write -1/5 comma -3. No, these are completely separate with y equals 0. So -1/5 comma 0 is right here. And here's my graph. And I connect and extend the line. And that's it. I will always write somewhere what I graphed. I graphed 6x plus 3y equals -9. This is my graph. And I notice that the graph goes this way, not this way, which means it's a decreasing function. It's coming from positive infinity and it's going to negative infinity. So the slope of this line must be negative. Any questions so far? Any questions?